And welcome back to another edition of BCSN Sports Flash. Greg Franke here as we continue to talk to some of the great student athletes that we get an opportunity to see on the court, the pitch, the ice, wherever, and get to know them a little better here on the show. And tonight we are with Renee Saneholtz, who's an outstanding soccer and basketball player at Anthony Wayne, and thanks for being with us here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Now, the first time I saw your name, I just thought back because way back, maybe going back a couple of decades, there were several great athletes named Saneholtz that went to Bowling Green High School, and I remember watching them and broadcasting a lot of their games on radio. And I thought, is there a relation there? And it turns out that there is, and there's actually a lot more Saneholtz relatives, and they're all very athletic. Is that right?
Yeah, they are. I have those from BG, and I have Tyler and Joe Saneholtz. I went to Anthony Wayne also, so they're all a lot older than me though. Mm-hmm. So I'm the first athletes for a while. So
did you know them well enough to sort of get this enthusiasm for sports from them growing up, or was it too much of a difference in age, or was that something that contributed to your love for sports?
I never really realized how good they were at sports until I was older. It was really my dad that got me into it. But once I did realize that wow, my cousins are really good, I want to be as good. I want to be better than them.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, I want to be better than them.
And I saw those guys, so that's saying a lot. But you're not too far off of that, and I think it shows you probably had the good pedigree to do it. Obviously, with a lot of great athletes in the family. This past season in soccer, one of the more classic soccer games that I can remember watching over the years. So you guys played Notre Dame in the district semifinal game. And it was a very noteworthy game because Notre Dame had a lot of great individual stars, and they were a great team too. Adina Deeb, who's one of the top players, she played one of the best games I can recall. She scored 2 goals. One of them was maybe one of the top goals I've ever seen scored, where she went through the whole team and scored from 40 yards out. And twice they got ahead of you on goals that she scored, but your team never quit. They just kept staying in, kept working, kept battling. And then in the end, you turned around and you ended up getting 2 goals, including the game winner on a set piece in extra time, I believe. What do you remember about that game?
I just remember every time they scored, I was just no, my season's not over. This isn't how it's gonna end. We're gonna beat them. And the first time we played them was really, really bad conditions. It was raining and sideways rain, and it was terrible. And they won 1-0. But I was no, they're not gonna beat us again. This is our game. So I just yelled at everyone. It was come on, let's go. And we kind of picked it up, and then we got our goal back, and then they scored again. And I was no. And then a corner, it just kind of bounced back out to me, and I slid into it, and luckily it went in. And then overtime, I scored that header, and I actually had forgotten it was sudden death overtime. Yeah. So I was everyone was rushing to me. I'm guys, we're still playing. And then and then it kind of clicked that wait, the game's over. Yeah. We won. So yeah, that was crazy.
And I think the thing about that is that I remember the goals that they scored. I even had to ask you, how did you get that winning goal? That was a pretty well executed set piece, as I recall, and you headed it in. But I don't really remember, from the standpoint of just being spectacular. But you guys, just like I said, were a very hard-working team, and a lot of times you can overcome talent with hard work, and I think that's what you did. Not just that game, but a lot of games all season. You played Perrysburg and game with Clay, I remember the same thing, but you just had that work ethic that kept you in games, and sometimes you won, sometimes you didn't, but it was always good, close, no matter who you were playing.
Yeah, I just think that we just tried to dig deep. We didn't want to lose. Nobody wanted to lose, obviously. And so, I think we have a lot of motivation on our team. We might not be, best skilled-wise, but we definitely had more heart than any other team, so I think it was great.
Yeah, like you say, nobody wants to lose, but some teams are more determined not to lose than other teams, and you guys were very determined not to lose. Now, Lori Williams, your coach, has always been great with us. She's been great at giving us whatever information that we ask her for, or even providing information for us before. You can really tell that she loves the game, she loves the kids. How is it playing for a coach like that?
It's amazing. She's so for the team. She loves the team, she loves the sport. She's a really big role model for me because she's just always get better, you can get better, just do this, you can do this, always get better no matter what. And she's so energetic, and it's great.
Yeah. And so you feel like you're going to have a pretty good team next year?
Yeah, we definitely can if we play to our potential. We have a lot of all 3 of our forwards at the end are coming back, so as juniors, so it'll be great.
Mm-hmm. But that's not all for you. So now you're playing on the basketball team at Anthony Wayne, and we saw you play a game earlier in the year, I think, against Perrysburg, and that fighting spirit was there too, because I think you were down like 21 points in the second half and pretty well into the second half. And then before it was over, it was only like a 5-point game, and you almost pulled it out. So was it the same kind of thing there, the basketball team, as what the soccer team showed?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I don't know what happened in the first half. Like, we just weren't playing well, I guess. And then we go into the locker room, and we're just like, okay, like, we need to pick this up. Like, this is Perrysburg. Like, they're not that good. Northview, like, them in Northview, like, that was a close game. Like, we can beat them. And so I think we came out, like, ready to play in the second half, and I think we got back within like 2 points. And then they went another run.
That close,
so
2 points. Yeah, I know it was
one
getting
point,
very close.
Then they went another run, and we just couldn't get back. We just couldn't make it back the whole 20 points that we were behind. So.
But the one thing that was evident, and Patty Strahl, who's one of the top athletes we've had over the years, and her dad Jim was a coach, basketball coach at St. Ursula, played at UT. They both admire the fiery, aggressive kind of game. And I'd said before, this girl here, she plays a lot like you guys, and they saw that. I mean, you took the ball to the basket. You weren't afraid to go in there and mix it up physically, and you made a lot of things happen. Soccer's that kind of a game too. So does that sort of readily transfer that aggression that you're used to it in one setting, so you can do it in the other setting too?
Yeah, I think basketball is like more physical, but you have to be like more careful how you're physical in basketball, like compared to soccer. But like soccer, I'm like it's a longer running, and it's like running into people every once in a while. Basketball is like you're right next to the person 24/7, so it's a little more physical, but it's still is fun.
It's good for conditioning too, because I mean basketball is a sport where you have to be extremely well conditioned to play, but soccer you run probably more than just about anything else. So I would think that would, and you have a lot of your soccer teammates all that are on the basketball team.
Yeah. The conditioning for soccer and basketball are like two very different things. Like soccer's more endurance, like run and run and run and run. Basketball is more like sprint, walk, sprint, walk. And so first week of basketball is always real rough, but it's soccer definitely helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, in the end it has to, because you do have that good physical conditioning. Now, you said you're interested in playing soccer at the college level, maybe going out away from the immediate area. You've talked about North Carolina's here, Appalachian State. You visited them, right? Yeah. So are there other schools that you're looking at right now too?
Elon University is really pretty too. I really like that.
That's South Carolina, right?
It's close. It's close to the border. It's North
Carolina. Right near the border.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah. Those are the two I really visited that I really liked. Appalachian State's definitely my top.
So you have a thing about Carolina that you like that area?
Yeah. My grandparents live in Tennessee, so we used to go to the mountains every once in a while, and I fell in love with that. So
go down to Dixie and see that. Now, something we've all talked to the other athletes about too. You're really interested in playing soccer at the next level, and yet you're not just playing soccer year round. You want to play. You like basketball. You're playing it. Do you think that helps you more than it would help you to play the same sport constantly, or why did you decide to play more than one sport?
Well, I absolutely love basketball. Like that. Like it just keeps my mind. So like I still love soccer. I don't get bored of soccer type of thing, and I do track in the spring, so like that also helps me keep my mind on soccer. Like I love soccer, but not like constantly involved with it.
So what are your major events in track?
High jump and long jump.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't do running.
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting, because you're talking about the endurance of and the fast. So how did you get into the jumping, the field aspects of track?
I don't know. I just really like the idea of high jump, like falling onto the mat and being in the air. And apparently I'm really good at it. So
So what are your personal records in high jump and long jump?
High jump, I cleared 5 foot last year. But I had like an ankle injury, so that was a little rough. Long jump, I think I jumped 16.9 or something like that. So that was really good, and I was really excited about that.
What are your goals for the track season? Do you want to try to make it to get a chance to go to Jesse Owens Stadium for the state track?
Yeah, last year I made it to regionals for high jump and long jump, so I'm definitely planning on making it there again.
All right. Well, hey, good luck, and we'll be watching for that. And thanks for being in with us tonight. You're definitely a Saneholtz. I can say that from watching you play out there. And maybe you even accomplished what you said of being the best one yet. So thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Renee Saneholtz from Anthony Wayne, soccer, basketball, and track and field here tonight on BCSN Sports Flash. Greg Franke saying so long.